Welcome back to Healthwise. With us is Dr. Carl Gonsoulin, and we were talking about pediatric dentistry. Doc, we were talking about cavities at the time. We were talking about how it's not just because grandma has bad teeth doesn't mean that the kid's going to. You want to care to expound a little bit on that? Well,
the majority of the problems with cavities have to do with not because it's a hereditary thing. I mean, everybody has different degrees of susceptibility or immunity to cavities, but a clean tooth can't decay, and a clean tooth can't have gum disease, or it's very, very difficult for that, okay? Sometimes it's very difficult to clean some of the areas of the teeth, so that would make it a little bit more difficult to prevent the problems, but if it's clean, it can't decay. So the majority of the problems can be prevented by properly brushing and flossing. Now, you're not going to brush and floss your teeth 10 times a day. So if you're providing the germs, you can't get every germ out of the mouth. So if you provide the germs that stay in there that you can't get rid of, all the things they can need to cause cavities, they'll do that. So you can't be drinking Cokes all day long with sugar in it, eating candy all day long with sugar in it, stuff like that, and expect not to get some problems. You can't be putting food in the mouth all the time, okay? And like I said, the bacteria take this food and they produce acid. So when you eat a meal, you get a certain amount of acid produced from that meal. Okay, it starts washing down with time. Okay, and it goes below a peak where it's going to cause damage. Okay, you eat another meal, it'll raise up again. Now you take that meal and you add snacks in between the meal, it pushes the thing up. Depends on what kind of snack it is. All right, but most snacks will have something in there that can it's mostly the carbohydrates and the sugars that cause the problems. Okay, all right, and so it's like, for example, and I don't endorse eating 10 candy bars, but let's say if you had 10 candy bars and you ate all of them at one time, besides getting a stomach ache, you'd get 1 acid attack. Okay? But if you ate the same 10 candy bars, 1 every hour, you'd get 10 acid attacks. And that just means it would be that much more acid that would produce as more likelihood of causing the problems. And so it's a matter of watching the diet so you're eating the proper things. Kids are hungry. Okay, we want them to eat. Okay, they're growing, they need a lot of food. So there are lots of snacks that you give them in between meals that don't cause problems. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, you know, meats, stuff like that, cold cuts and stuff like that. You know, especially this time of year, we have a lot of good fruits going on, you know, and stuff like that. And those things are good for the kids, and they don't contribute as much to the problems as other things would occur. Okay.
Right. Well, Doc, like I said, we got a couple minutes left. Would you recommend, you see all these mouthwashes now, like without saying the brand names, you know, all of them say they kill bacteria, they kill germs, and one is better than the other and all that stuff. Is that a good idea to do some of these mouthwashes? Or?
Well, you have to, like everything, you got to read your labels. Okay, first of all, a lot of children aren't old enough where they can swish around. We don't want to swallow the mouthwashes. If they have a mouthwash that is fluoride, we definitely want to swallow in that, because you don't know how much fluoride they're going to swallow. We don't want to cause any damage to the teeth or anything like that. Okay, all right. So I don't generally recommend mouthwashes. All right. Now, as you get older, as you're an adult, that's a different story. Okay, but when you're a child, I don't generally recommend the mouthwashes. And most of the mouthwashes are a little bit more hyped than they actually are. You know, you can do it just about as good as same, you know, brushing and flossing properly, rinsing the mouth well with water. Okay, swishing it around real good. Okay, you can get the same effects as long as you're not just adding a bunch of food and junk to it after that. Okay, so I'm not that, you know, thrilled about the mouthwashes.
Big fan of mouthwashes. You know, okay. Well, Doc, it was a pleasure having you on our show. And audience, remember, like Dr. Gonsoulin said, eat candy during this Halloween season, but eat it in moderation. And remember to brush your teeth after you eat it, and rinse out your mouth. Stop cavities, and go see Dr. Carl Gonsoulin in Lafayette at his pediatric clinic. And thank you again, Dr. Gonsoulin, and thank you, audience, and we'll see you next week.
Healthwise is brought to you in part by Opelousas General Health System.